Hello, hello, good morning, everyone. Hello, hello. Happy Sunday morning. Today is Sunday, February 23rd, 2025. Um, a special shout out to a little girl, Michaela. Today is her birthday. Happy birthday. So, if you are here watching live, drop me a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. So, my name is Good morning, Mom. Make sure Michaela knows I just wished her a happy birthday. Today's her birthday. Good morning, Lisa from sunny. Oh, you rubbing it in. Sunny North Carolina. Well, the sun is out. The sun is out here, but it's cool. Although we're supposed to be getting some warmer, when I say warmer weather, like in the 40s and maybe touching on 50 in the middle of the week. So that'll be nice. It'll get rid of some of this snow and maybe that giant mountain where my husband's been plowing all of the snow from our driveway will come down so that I can actually see my backyard because I can't even see my backyard. So my name is Tina Bickford. I am an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up! Here in the US. I'm located in New England, in New Hampshire specifically, southern New Hampshire. And so I thought we would do kind of it's a fun card. I was kind of trolling Pinterest and just looking at a bunch of the cards that I had saved to one of my boards, because you scroll through Pinterest and you find stuff that you like and you just pin it and you never go back to it. So I decided to go back to some of the pins that I had on Pinterest, some of my cards, and I found one I found one that actually led me to another one. And so that's the one that we're going to do today. So this is a card that is inspired by, I might get her name wrong. Hold on. Let me just make sure I have it. I'm going to pronounce it best I can. So it is, Gerry Velden. Okay. She is from the Netherlands, and she has a YouTube channel called Gerry's Craft Room, I think it's called. So she did this card called Slide Lock. She has a couple of videos on slide lock cards, and they're very cool. The cards that she did were slimline cards. Um, I'm not. I'm not a huge fan of slimline cards. I don't have anything against them. I just, it's having to buy or make a different kind of an envelope for them to go into. I suppose they have their place. So, and I don't know, maybe that'll be one of my challenges this year, is to make more slimline cards and just break out of my comfort zone with the standard, quarter fold card. So, yeah. Oh, so a couple of things I just wanted to mention. So I got, for those of you who do watch me over on Facebook, I did get a notification from Facebook saying that all of my live streams that are older than 30 days are going to be deleted. So I had to download them. So you have to tell Facebook that you want to download them. They prepare a file for you and they email it to you so that you can download your videos and you can save them however. So most of them, I believe, are all over on YouTube anyway. But what I'll end up having to do is on Facebook, I'll end up having to just post a link to the YouTube video so that if you do watch on Facebook, you can just always click a link to get to the YouTube video for it. So I have to do some work on that today. And I'm also doing a little bit more work on YouTube. So I have I've started doing all of the project sheets, so free project sheets for my cards for all of the videos that I'm doing. And I put a link in the description of the video. If you can click on the link, you can get to the project sheet, you can download it, you can print it. It's free, it's yours, so that you can make these cards yourself. I like doing it. I like making sure that, you know, my instructions are clear, and that you have what you need to make the cards, because, you know, I like making them, so I want you to like making them. So so there'll be project sheets for all of the videos. I wasn't doing it in the beginning. So a lot of my videos in the beginning don't have project sheets. I'm going to fix that. I'm going to go back and actually put project sheets on all of those also. Of course, that's a lot of work, and I'll be having to work on that a little at a time, because I have to remake the cards and take pictures along the way, and all of that. But I will do that. So if you are watching over on YouTube, all of my videos that have a thumbnail with a picture of the actual cards, and the name of the card, all of those videos currently have project sheets. The videos that don't have project sheets are the ones that have, there's one generic thumbnail right now that says card making tatted stamper style. So those don't have project sheets yet, but they will. And when I add a project sheet, I will update the thumbnail so that it is like all of the others, so you can easily tell which ones have project sheets and which ones don't. They all will eventually. Another thing oh, good morning, Luann. Thank you for joining. Good morning. Um, Another kind of a proud moment this morning. I woke up to, I reached 500 subscribers on my YouTube channel, which is amazing to me. So my husband and I have kind of been keeping track of it, and he's got little incentives for me. Let me see. Okay, so you can't really see it, but like right there, there's a little dollar bill hanging there. So he had me sign the back of a dollar bill with a date when I reached 200 subscribers. And that date was February 6th, I believe. So 18 days, in 18 days or 17 days, whatever it has been, I have picked up another 300 subscribers. I am beyond amazed at how quickly that number has risen. And I am just so thankful. And, you know, just, I can't express how much I just absolutely thank all of you for subscribing to my channel. I love it. I'm going to keep doing this, and I'm going to keep giving you great cards to make, and get into actually maybe some more tips from my craft room. So good morning, Louise from Maryland. Is it warmer down there than it was last week? Lisa from North Carolina has sun. So, I mean, we have sun. We have sun. It's just cold. So anyway, I just wanted to just big shout out to Louise from Iced Images, also, who made two versions of one of my cards, the triple flap fun fold card. And so she did it in a 5x7 and a 6x6, and she, in both of her videos, asked her subscribers to come follow me, and I cannot be more appreciative of her for that. So yeah, so big shout out to Louise from Iced Images. Thank you, Luann. I know, 500. Can you believe it? And you've been with me from the beginning. Warmer today in Maryland. Yeah, so you're gonna get near 60. We're gonna get high 40s, maybe touch 50, but it probably won't get out of the 40s. All right, so you guys have heard me, like, I've been talking, but you didn't come here to watch me talk. So I'm going to switch down to the desk camera and show you the card we're going to make. So this is the card that we're going to make today. And I know it's a sympathy card. I wanted to use some of this new paper, so I'm going to show you that. Now, I do have a project sheet ready to go for this. I've actually got it sitting over here to the side right now with me, and I'm going to kind of follow along with it just to make sure I proofread it twice before I saved it as the PDF. I just want to make sure before I put it up there for you guys to print that I am following it and I can make this card by my project sheet. So, all right, this is called a slide lock card. And I've seen lots of versions of it. So the video that I watched from Gerry Velden, it was a slimline card. It was in the vertical version in the slimline card, and it was she did a lot with that, like designer series papers and stuff like that. Her cards are beautiful. The video was from 3 years ago. I believe it was 3 years ago. But honestly, check out Gerry's craft room because she's got some really cool cards over there. I actually just subscribed to her yesterday when I found her video. And again, found her video because I was going through my cards that I had pinned on Pinterest and watched a video, which was okay. But then it brought up another video to watch, which was Gerry's. So this card, it doesn't look like much of a card. Like, I mean, it doesn't look like anything, special or different or whatever. But let's see. This front piece slides off. And that's how you open the card. So it slides off like this. Okay. So the reason it's called a slide lock card is when that front piece is on, you can't really open. I mean, you could open this card if you really wanted to. It's paper. Like, it's paper. So you could open it and pop it out of the little sliding mechanism, but you don't want to do that. So we're going to be doing a technique here too, a masking and blending technique. So I wanted to show you that. So this just slides off. You just slide that off the card like that, and then the card opens like so. Good morning, Michelle from Minnesota. From northern Minnesota. I have family in Minnesota. I'm not really sure. I mean, Minnesota is a really big state, so I'm not really sure where they are, north or south, but so this is the card. All right. So let's start with, let me move this to the side and let's start with our parts, our little pieces and components. First, I wanted to show you. So this is the designer series paper that we're going to use. This is an online exclusive that is coming in just, about a week and a half. This one is called Botanical Textures. So you remember in the last video, we did the masculine card with the woven textures, and I don't have that card. Do I have that card handy? I don't, but we did. This is one of the papers from that one. This one looks like that linen, and the one we did kind of looked like a burlap, or to me, it reminded me of like a tweed jacket that a man would wear. So. But this is called Botanical Textures, and this paper is really good. So I've already cut into it. So I'll try to move this out of the way so that you can see. It's all like black and gray and white, black and white and gray, which I adore. Just the neutral black and gray. More than I do the browns, the neutral browns. I like the neutral blacks and grays more than I like the browns. But so I'll just kind of flip through so you can see front and back of the papers. This is the one that we're going to use today, or we could decide to use this part of it. My sample card, as you saw, has this one, this side right here. So maybe I'll switch it up and do this side for today's card. I don't know, maybe not, because I'm not sure how that will look on it. We'll stick to the flowers today. So there's this one here. And then the other side to that is this, you know, it's just like a little woodsy kind of a texture. And then this one, which is cool, like this one almost kind of reminds me of a coloring book. Like you could color in to put pops of color in on those leaves. Use your blending markers. And then this one that's, I don't even really know what, I mean, it's just kind of, I don't know. I don't even know like what it would be, but I like the colors and the swirly patterns. I like this one here. And this one's kind of, you know, like marbling kind of a side here. And then another one that's got that, you could just color that in, get a little more. And then this one, which is just kind of blotchy. And that's it. So that's Botanical Textures. That's an online exclusive coming soon. Coming soon. All right. So, oh, and you guys, wait till you see the alternative cards that I did at the end of the video. I'm so excited to show you those. Okay. So we're going to start with a card base. Now, this is not the standard size card base, and I want to show you why. So with the standards, so this, you could consider this like a gatefold card. Like this would be a normal, someone would call this a gatefold card if it were just like this. But you have this gap down the center. So if you have a standard card base of 5.5 by 8.5, when you fold that into your gatefold, you won't have a gap here. So you will actually have to cut a gap. So we're just going to do it from the beginning, and we're going to alter how, you know, the dimensions that we score it at so that we get this dimension right from the beginning. Because once you score this is what my experience has been. If you do it normal and you score it normal and you fold it and then you say, oh, I have to trim some off, you might trim too much off of one side, not enough on the other. So to make sure that it's just even Steven from the beginning, we're going to just take 1/8 of an inch off of this, the 8.5 inch side. So 5.5 standard, you know, US card size. And this would normally be 8.5. It's 8 3/8. So we just trimmed 1/8 of an inch off of it. Okay. So this inside panel, so we have our inside panel that we're going to use. So our card, when it's folded, our card will be our standard size card. So it'll be 5.5 by 4.25. So this piece for our inside panel is just 1/8 of an inch smaller. So it's going to have a very narrow border around all of it. So this is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And again, you don't have to, don't worry about writing all of the measurements and stuff down, because there'll be a project sheet that I'll be adding to the description as soon as this video gets published. All right, so then we need 2 pieces of cardstock. These are going to be the same color as your card base. Now, in this card, they are the same color as the card base. You make this card yourself. You decide what colors you want for what, and you know, you'll make a beautiful card from it. So these are, there's 2 of them, and these are 3 1/4 by 4.5. So how I came to this dimension, when my card is folded, this is basically an inch. It's an inch smaller in both directions. So there's a 1/2 inch. So this can be centered on the front of the card with a 1/2 inch around it. You can make yours any size you want, but that's how I came up with that size. So you need 2 of those. And then we're going to have our designer series paper. So you need 2 pieces of the designer series paper. These are 5 3/8 by 1 15/16 of an eighth. I know that that's a weird size, but because we trimmed 1/8 of an inch off of the card base when we fold these in. Our two side panels are just a smidge smaller, more narrow than what they would be for a standard gatefold card. So these, we had to also make these pieces a little more narrow, just a little bit. So 5 3/8 by 1 15/16. We'll also need these two pieces are going to go with these two pieces here for our sliding mechanism. So these, I would recommend doing them using the same color that you're making these, whether that is the same color as your cardstock, or if you choose to go with a different color for this. My recommendation is to make these two pieces the same color as these two, so that they can really be hidden when we do the slide mechanism. So these two pieces here, I made these just a tiny bit smaller than what I made these. So these ones here are 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. These are 3 inches by 4 3/8 of an inch. Now, when you look at them, they look very close to the same size. So to make sure that I didn't mix them up and grab the wrong one, when I made the card, I did put 2 little X's on, these ones, so that I knew that these were the smaller ones. These are going to kind of be folded up and sandwiched between these two, so you will never see these X's. Okay. All right. And then the last thing that we need is we need a piece that I'm calling this a mask. So for no, it's not the last piece. Oh my goodness gracious. It's like you guys are watching because you think I know what I'm doing, and look, I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay, that's all right. So I need a piece of white cardstock that I forgot. That is, let me just put that one aside. Sorry. Here we go. So I need a piece of white cardstock that is 3 1/8 by 4 3/8. So I'm going to do 3 1/8. Oh, and for those of you who are wondering, I did find my new cutting blades, my new pack of cutting blades. So now at least I don't have this, these crappy cuts. So 3 1/8 by 4 3/8. So there. All right. Oh, Lord. All right. I was working, so in my defense, I was working on the project sheet for one of the other alternate cards, which is something I'm going to be offering when this video ends too, because I think you guys will love that card. And I didn't get all of my pieces cut for this. So, so the white cardstock, 3 1/8 inch by 4 3/8 inch. And then the last piece is what I'm calling in the project sheet, I'm calling this the mask. Okay. So with the mask, the mask is actually just going to be placed over our white piece, and we're going to do some blending. So whatever you choose for a size, it does not matter what you choose for a size. This particular one is 3/8 by 4 3/8. Honestly, it was just a piece of scrap paper that I had that was enough to cover most of this piece here. You can use a larger piece, you could use a smaller piece, but you really want to be very careful when you're doing this masking that you cover most of the piece that's underneath. So you'll see that. So this piece right here, again, 3/8 by 4 3/8, but it can be larger if you want. And that's all I did. I die cut the shape that I wanted to be. I'll show you right here. So it's to do this right here. So it's whatever shape you want to do that highlighting. Okay. That is the shape that you just die cut that right out. I didn't see any point in making another one to do this card because it'll be in the project sheet from from, you know, this being just a plain piece of cardstock to having the die cut shape in it. So, all right. So now that I think we have all of our pieces, let's do some making of this card. We're just going to move some of this stuff aside. This is why I made these little X's, because I'm going to move all of this stuff aside and I'm going to forget which one is which. So, and yes, I can measure them again, but I'm lazy like that. So I'm not going to. I thought it was easier just to put an X on it and then I don't have to remeasure them. Sorry about that reflection. All right, so we're going to just do a little bit of scoring for this card base. What we want is we want our card to ultimately be 5.5 by 4.25. We want that 4.25 inch section to come out of the middle. So in order to get that, because of the length of this, we're actually going to score this card at 2 1/16. I know, it's so, like, why do you get into the 16ths of an inch, Tina? I know. So to do that, it's just, you get to the 2 mark. I'll just show you. You get to that 2 mark on the paper trimmer, and then it's just one line over the 2, and that's all it is. Those are your 16ths. So it's really that easy. So 2 1/16, and we're doing that on each end. Now, you could do the math and you can say 2 1/16 plus 4.25 brings you to whatever your 6 5/8 or whatever it is. That area of this trimmer for me is very difficult to read because it's not on the white, it's in the gray. So when you do this, all of these lines are in the gray. It's a little bit hard for me to, here, let me see if I can bring those up. It's just hard for me to like get them. So for me, it was just easier to take my card and score it at the 2 1/16 and then just rotate it right around and do the same exact thing on the other side, 2 1/16. And because math is math, it leaves you your 4.25 in the center. Okay. Set that aside, and then we're just going to fold and burnish. So before I burnish, and I know you can't really see that because it's black. So I'm just going to pop this right in the middle here so that you can see what I'm doing. So before I burnish any of this, I'm kind of bringing this down and I'm holding it to make sure it's straight, but I'm also making sure that I have that gap in the center. I do. So I'm just going to go ahead and burnish. Okay. Now we're going to stamp our greeting on the inside. What I chose for the inside was the, what did I do on that one? Sending hugs. I did sending hugs from the Layering Leaves stamp set. This is one of my favorites. And it's very simple. Doesn't even have like a lot of like detailed stamps or any of that, but I love this font. I love cursive writing. I love cursive writing. Hello, my name is Tina Bickford and I love cursive writing. And I know a lot of people just don't like it. They can't do it. I don't know, but I like it. So I'm just going to go ahead and pop that sentiment, sending hugs, right there. I'm going to use my Memento Tuxedo Black ink, load that up. And when you load up your stamps, move all around that ink pad because there's not just ink in the middle, there's ink all over that ink pad. And if you're only using just the center all of the time, you're going to have all this highly concentrated ink around the edges and nothing on the inside. So move it all around. So I'm just going to come in here and do my sending hugs. Pardon my arm there. And then, I did some other stamps on the inside. So let's go ahead and do those too. So what I did on the inside, I used this little, like this little rose here, and I used this. So we'll just do the the rose first. And this block is probably a little overkill for such a small stamp, but it will do. Oh my goodness, I didn't even pick the right one. Oh my goodness. All right, grab the other one. And then just, yeah, tap, tap, tap all over, all over. And I'm just going to come in here and put it right over here on the side. Just give it a little bit here. And then I am going to take this, the dots here. I like this one. And I'm going to put some dots up here in the corner, down here in the corner, just like that. It's just enough. It just adds a little bit of something. So, oh, she does, Luann. I'm so glad. I love them. I love them. I actually just got, I just got an order recently, and one of the celebration ends Friday, this coming Friday. So one of the options for celebration was a kit that's called Hooray for Honeycomb, and it's got those, I don't know if you remember them when you were a kid. They're like the things that are made out of like the tissue paper. It's got tissue paper all like folded between two pieces of cardboard, and you open it like this and they become like a globe, or all kinds of different things. Well, this kit has those. It's pretty cool. And I love the kits anyway, because you get everything you need to make everything in that card. I mean, in that kit, from the adhesive to the ink to the embellishment, you get all of it. I love the kits. And I got my new paper pumpkin kit the other day too, so I can't wait to dig into that one. Let's see. So I'm just stamp on that inside panel and throw that right in there. And at this point, because everything's even, Steven, right? You've got two equal panels on the outside. It doesn't matter which way you put it. Just now it matters. Good morning, Yvette from Jacksonville, North Carolina, 52 degrees. Oh, you guys, I know I don't know what I need to do. So I just got a little bit of ink, and I don't even know where it came from because I wasn't paying attention, because I'm being a real chatty Cathy this morning. So I just got a little bit of ink on there. This mono sand eraser can get some ink off of your paper. It's basically sandpaper, and it's sanding the ink off of your paper. So you do want to be careful with using it, and it won't get like it wouldn't take any of this off, because that's just way too much for it. But if you have little teeny tiny smudges and stuff, it would certainly do that. Okay, so now we have our inside. We are going to do the designer series paper. So we're going to throw that designer series paper on there. And this is all easy. This is not directional. I can put this any way I want. I did cut them from the same sheet of paper. So if I wanted to keep the direction going, you certainly could. Remember, you're going to have that panel in between them, which is kind of going to break up all of that anyway. So it's not, for this pattern, it's not really important that I do that. All right, so let's put our designer series paper on. Now I do like turning the card over and doing it this way. And part of the reason that I do that is, if I do it this way and I put the card down and I rub I do risk getting ink on the inside of my card, where I have to use my eraser, my adhesive eraser, which, as you can see, is well used, because that's what I do. I get glue everywhere. So I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to put my glue. Now, you don't have to use, like, if you don't love this, liquid glue, you don't have to use this one. You can use any kind of glue you want for this part of it and for the inside panel. I do recommend using something very strong once we get to the sliding mechanism, because the sliding mechanism is going to take a lot of wear and tear. So I'm just coming in here, putting that designer series paper on, gentle rub on there, equal border around all sides. Flip that around so I can do this one. Again, I'm not concerned about the orientation of this pattern because you can't really tell. And I'm going to have that big center slider in there. So there we have our designer series paper on there. And now, whoop, whoop, we get to the fun part. So we're just going to set this aside. And before we do our the slider mechanism, which is all 4 of those pieces there, I want to go ahead and do this front part. So I'm going to grab my pool party. So I decided to go with pool party for this one. This could be any color. Like if you were giving this to, somebody that was a little more, like loved pinks or purples, you certainly could do that. Whatever, bring something personal from whoever's going to receive this card, from the recipient of this card. Bring something personal of them into your card. If someone really likes blue, add a little bit of blue to this. If somebody really likes, like in this case, I really like this pool party. This is one of my favorite colors. This reminds me not so much of a pool, which, I mean, it does, but it reminds me of the Caribbean Ocean. And Lisa from North Carolina can attest to that. So I am going to do a little bit blending. So I'm going to open my ink pad. I'm going to take now I'm going to be doing this is just a masking technique. So all I'm doing is lining this up where I want it. And I'm just centering it from top to bottom. And you can see it doesn't cover my whole bottom piece. And that's okay. Okay, Luann, come back. All right, so I'm just going to hold this down. So cover it. You can tape this down with washi tape. As a matter of fact, why don't we do that? I'm going to grab my washi tape. I don't even know where this came from. I don't even know. I don't do a lot. I certainly don't do any crafting with washi tape, but I do, use it to hold dies down and stuff. This washi tape, I do find this particular washi tape actually sticks to my cardstock. So when I put it through the die, the pressure going through the die cutting machine makes it like stick more. So it just is, sometimes it's just terrible. All right, so I'm just going to take my blending brush. Now, this is not a Stampin' Up! Blending brush, and that's all right. I've had these for years, so use what you have. So I'm just going to take this. I'm going to just take a little bit off, or I'm going to make sure that I don't have some big pool of ink there, and I don't. It's just a little. So I'm going to just come down here. This washi tape is going to hold the top, so I'm going to come down here on the bottom, and I'm just going to come in just circular motion around. And it doesn't, especially this particular color, it does not look like it's doing much, but trust me, it is. Just load that up again. And same thing with your blending brushes. Get in those corners of your ink pad and just come on in here and just give it a little blend all around in circles. Like so. And you don't really need much. You can do this to however dark you want that circle to be. You can do that. I'm going to just let that go at that. And oh, it looks like my video might be getting a little bit blurry. I'm not really sure. Let me know in the comments if the video is looking blurry to you. I'm not really sure what's causing it. The sun is out. All right, so we're gonna come in here. I'm just gonna keep going. So we're gonna come in here. I'm gonna grab my Spotlight on Nature, and I'm gonna just grab this big one here, and I'm gonna load that up with the Memento. Oops, I don't even have it all the way on the block. It is this. I don't understand like why this keeps getting blurry. They just came and fixed my internet. There's no wind, there's no nothing today, so I don't know. Time for a new internet provider, I think. So I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to hover this over my my blended area. Now I want this blended area to just kind of hit those flowers in a certain area. So I'm not real worried about exactly where it hits, but let me see if I can get this to focus. Just hold this for a second. Can't quite get it to focus. Yeah, here we go again, right? With the blurry. Okay, well, we're just going to keep going. We're just going to keep going. All right, so the last stamping I'm going to do on here, I'm going to just pull in the With Sympathy stamp from the mixed labels. Load that up on my block. Get my Memento ink. I apologize for the video, the blurry video. I know that it will clear up as it does, but I'm just going to stamp that with Sympathy. Let me bring it up so that you can actually see that a little bit. Ugh, this is so frustrating. There. Okay, set all that aside. And we're going to just set this aside now, and we're going to work on our slide mechanism. So again, apologies for whatever is going on here. All right, so these ones, these two pieces with the X's on them are 3 inches across. We're going to fold these in half lengthwise. If you're more comfortable just folding and burnishing with your bone folder, you can do that. If you're more comfortable with scoring it, you can do that. If you're scoring it, this is 3 inches, so you're going to score it at 1.5 inches. So I'm just going to go ahead and score each one of those at 1.5 inches. Yeah, you know what, Louise? I don't know if it's because I don't even think so. So we use the internet for streaming television. I don't hear the television on downstairs, so I don't know. I don't know if it's. I don't know. We just have crappy internet, I guess. So I'm just going to fold along those score lines, and I'm going to burnish this really, really well. Both of them, okay? And then I'm going to grab one of these. Now, this is where I like my grid paper, and I know that you guys cannot see this clearly, but what on the top of this grid paper, this center is 0, and then it goes 1, 2, 3 as it gets further out. So you can actually use this grid paper to see where the center of your cardstock is, and just by lining it up, so I've gone out the same width on each side from that 0. I now know where my center point is. Now you can do a couple of things. You can just leave it here and do what you need to from there. This is a little bit too far away for for me for right now. So I'm just going to come in here with a pen, and I'm just going to kind of mark where that center is, and I'm doing it at the top and the bottom so that I can get these pieces lined up. All right. So I'm going to come in now with my Tombow glue, and on the piece, you're just going to put it on one side, and it does not matter which side. You're going to do the same thing with the other side anyway, so it doesn't matter. But you're just going to come in here and put glue on that. And thin lines of glue, but you do want to make sure that you're quite liberal with it, because this is, like I said, this is going to take a lot of oh geez, you guys, I'm flustered about that video quality. Let me put that paper right there so I don't get glue on there. I'll remove that in just a second. All right, so I'm going to just come in with this paper here, this piece of cardstock here. I'm just going to come in, I'm going to glue it to this piece, lining that folded edge up with my marks so that I know that it is straight there and centered from top to bottom. It will not go all the way to the edge, and it will not go all the way to the top and the bottom, just a little bit. I'm going to do the same thing with the other side, where I'm going to come in here, put glue on one side, do nice thin strips here. And this one, I'm going to just butt this one right up against that other one, like so. Make sure that you don't overlap those two folded edges. So your two folded edges should be in the center, so your piece looks like this. Okay. Then we're going to come in and put glue on both of these, just like that. Don't get any near those folds. And we're going to take our other piece, okay, I'll stay away from that side. I'll just fold that up. I'll fold that up so I don't get that. There's glue under here, so I'm just going to fold that up so I don't. So this now, this is the other piece that we had that was, yeah, I forget the size. What was the size? And we're going to sandwich that. We're going to make sure that it lines up perfectly even with the other side of it, and press and hold until that glue sets. Now you should be able to open it like so. Okay. All right. Now we're going to take our stamped image here, and I'm going to actually pop this up on dimensionals. So I'm going to use the dimensionals for this one. And put those all in there. I'm real sorry about the blurry video, guys. All right. Like so. And this, I'm just going to pop this right up onto our slide mechanism, and I'm going to leave that even border around all four sides, like so. And then we're going to come in. I just want to burnish this card real good again, just to make sure it closes. And then this is just going to slide, oops, right on our card. Now I did find with this, it was easiest to like kind of pop it open a little bit and then slide it on to the card with this rectangular panel. That's kind of what I found was the easiest. So that's the card. The video is crappy. I am so sorry. Let's just look at some alternates. So the last time my video did this, once we started looking at the alternates, that's when the video got clear again. So let's hope that happens. Okay. I'll try to keep these close to the camera so that you can see them. So this one here I did using, yeah, that's crappy. This is using the Bloom Impressions Designer Series paper, which is a celebration set. And this is using shaded spruce, and the die cuts are all from a set called Linked Together. So that just slides off and opens. And I'll end up putting pictures of all of these over on Facebook. So if you don't follow me on Facebook, you can find me over there at the Tatted Stamper. You'll see pictures of all of these. And there's a project sheet for this one, the one that we made today. And then the last card I show you, there's a project sheet for that one also. So this one I did, it's using a circle from Spotlight on Nature, plus the stamp is a Spotlight on Nature, using that same Bloom Impressions Designer Series paper. This one was okay to slide the circle on. I found it a little bit tricky because it's technically a half circle, because the circle has holes in it. I couldn't line a large enough circle up with that. So it's a smaller circle. So it just kept catching. So this one it's okay. I like the circle, but it was just a little bit harder to put on. This one is using the Classic Weddings, the car die cut from the Classic Weddings. This is not my idea. This was not my idea. I actually saw there was another demonstrator that made this. It's supposed to look like a little purse, and I'm so sorry that you can't actually see that. But it looks like a little purse with a little ribbon handle. And for this one, I just pulled the handle to open it, and it just says "Treat Yourself" on the inside. So there's that one. And then this last one is the Hearts of Elegance and the Marbled Elegance with that gold. So this is the other one. I will have a project sheet for this one in the description of the video also. So this one I actually found was probably the easiest because it has a point to kind of bring the sliding mechanism down. So there's that. Now I did put the heart down here on the bottom, and I popped it up on dimensionals, so the slide mechanism actually won't come down the bottom. It gets hooked on that. It can, if you just kind of move it up and over that, but I didn't want to. So I thought that was kind of cool. It makes it stop there. So that one just opens and opens. And that's all of them. So there will be a project sheet for this one and a project sheet for this one, and a list of all of the products that I used to make this one. You'll find all of that in the description of the video. So let me just flip my camera back, and I'm sure it will freeze and do all kinds of crazy things because, well, there it is. So this camera actually looks clear. But I have noticed when I go back and watch my videos, I have noticed that for some reason it freezes when I come back to, when I flip from the desk to this camera. Apologize for that. I'm, no tech wizard, so I don't really know what's causing it, but I'll figure it out. As always, if you're watching over on YouTube and you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. Please like and share my videos. It really helps grow my channel. And, it really helps me out a little bit, reach more people. So Let me know which card was your favorite. Like I said, I'm going to post them over on Facebook. If you don't already follow me over on Facebook, you can find me at the Tatted Stamper on Facebook. You can see all of the pictures there. I'll post links to the YouTube videos there also, because like I said in the beginning of the video, Facebook beginning in June is going to remove any live streams that are over 30 days old. So I'll get right on that at some point today. I'll be back Wednesday at 6 p.m. For another video. I don't know what that card's going to be yet, but hopefully it will, my video will be better than it was today. It won't be all blurry. So anyway, I hope you all have a great, what's left of your weekend. I hope you all get some sunshine today. And I will be back Wednesday. So I hope to see you all on a Wednesday.